Hi there. Something happened at work night before last that just still weighs heavy on my mind, and I'm going to tell you about that tonight. This is Check In with SJ. I'm SJ, and I'm very glad you're here. Here in Western North Carolina, we've had some wintry weather today, and that's my excuse for not getting my blood sugar tested this morning, my A1C. In my last video, I told you about my being diabetic and not really an obedient diabetic, but they want to do better. And part of that is telling you I'm going to do better and encouraging you to do better in some way of taking care of yourself and not coming here for medical advice or healthcare advice because I'm not a healthcare worker, I'm not a therapist, a counselor. I am a certified lay minister, but I am not a medical professional, so you do need to take that up with your doctor or your counselor. However, it is good to take care of your physical body. There's so much connection between the physical body, the mental health, the spiritual health. It just all fits together nicely. And the more we can do for one part of ourselves, the more we're doing for all of us. One thing I did do in my ongoing goal to do better and procrastinate less, I did send a message to my doctor and requested to be referred to a dietitian. There are wonderful websites online to give you suggested diabetic diet plans. I want to talk to someone who can help me with menus I will actually eat, menus I will actually prepare. I'm fortunate enough to have friends who help me and encourage me. I hope you have people who encourage you too, because it is important. As you remember, the Creator who created heaven, earth, every atom in the universe, every snowflake that fell today also loves you and thinks you're important and cares for you. So care for yourself. Do what you can. Something else I did, I recently have found out about the website procrastinators-anonymous.org. I went there again today and read through some more. I did notice that most of the dates on articles and postings are not recent, but that doesn't mean they're any less important or any less helpful. I did notice that their motto under their name was procrastination is the grave where opportunities are buried. And think about that. Procrastination is the grave where opportunity is buried. If I continue to procrastinate instead of acting, taking action, doing something, then I'm giving up opportunities I could have taken advantage of. And we all know that overcoming procrastination is a lot easier said than done. But I did like that. I like that. There was also a suggestion there that's kind of similar what I'm doing here with saying I'm gonna tell you how my A1C is running through time, encouraging you to, with your doctor, keep an eye on your hemoglobin A1C if you're diabetic, pre-diabetic, if it runs in your family. And that is send someone a message, talk to a friend, tell your neighbor, someone, what you plan to do. What is one task you intend to do within a certain time period? Is it taking a walk? Is it hanging up all of your clothes that you're going to pull out of the dryer from last week's laundry? are you going to go ahead and pull those out, probably iron some or rewash them and get them hung up today? Just pick any task. Tell someone, this is my goal for today. I'm going to talk to you again just before dinner tonight, after dinner tonight, or in the morning, and I'll let you know how that goes. Well, that gives your friend or your neighbor an opportunity to check up on you. It also holds you accountable. Not so much accountable to that other person that you've told about it, but accountable to yourself. That I've got to give an explanation for my action or my inaction. Sometimes that's enough to blast us out of our chair and get us to do something, is knowing we'll have to be accountable for it. That's just a hint for the day. But let me tell you about something that happened at work night before last. And it has just really stayed on my mind. I work in a large retail store, and someone came through my department. I happened to be working in apparel that night. And there was a woman who came through, and she was in a motorized cart, just having some difficulty getting around. She had had a death in her family, and she needed some dress pants to wear to the funeral. Well, I felt bad for her. I mean, she was friendly enough, and she was probably my age, maybe a touch older. And I have to admit, there are times when I would say, oh, well, you need to go on down to the next section or go down 3 rows and turn to your right. But something about this person made me say, well, follow me. Let's see what we can find. I can't remember where everything is like that. And so I started having a conversation with her about what she might like to have, what style of clothes. Stopped and showed her a couple that were hanging up or folded and laying down. She's, no, that's too casual. No, I would like to wear my jeans, but I need something dressier. Well, finally she said, I want something like what you're wearing. So I kind of pulled up my shirt and let her see the way it fit me all the way around. And so I want those in black. It's like, well, come on and follow me. We'll go right around this corner here. And I talked to her about, what size would you like? And showed her a couple. And I got her a couple of different sizes and took them to a fitting room for her. Well, she found her way in, and I waited until she had a chance to try them on, and she opened the door and asked if I would come in. She had one pair on. She said, would you look at these? Yeah, those do look good on you. She says, well, they look a little baggy, and I don't like the way the legs are made. Do you have something different? And she explained the difference she was interested in. I said, I believe we do. Let me go look. So it was easier for me to move around than it was for her. I just went out the door and grabbed a couple more and took the samples to her. She tried one on and she asked me to come in again. Well, this particular pair of pants looked really good on her. And she turned around and looked at me and said, can I have a hug? I was like, well, of course, because I'm just a huggy bear kind of person. I love hugs. I think hugs are good for you. I have heard that if you get, I think it's 3 20-second hugs a day, that's the bare minimum. That's good. Now, there are a lot of times when I end up hugging myself to get hugs that long, but there's nothing like a good hug. But I gave her a little hug, and so I'm, so sorry for your loss. And she was going to have to go out of state. Well, I took what she did not need and went to put them up. She came out and she came to me and tried to give me money. The woman was almost in tears because she said, you've gone out of your way to help me. You've made this easier, trying to find something to wear. And we had talked about what she was going to wear with the slacks she bought and talked about what the weather would be like that day. But she was just so overwhelmed because someone was nice to her. Someone treated her with respect. It really made me wonder how she had been treated in the past. She tried to give me money and I refused. I said, no, really, I can't take tips. You know, it's no big deal to me. I'm very happy to do it. Happy to help you. And she got on her electric card and took off. And I've got to tell you now, I wish I had gotten her name. I wish I had taken the time to get to know her. I wonder now what her story is because it's one thing I love to do is listen to people's story about what they've been through in life, about where their attitudes in life came from. Well, I told one of my coworkers who was working nearby about it, and she told me that that had happened to other employees in that department, that they would take time to help someone who was on their own, had no idea what type of clothing might look good on them, took time to help them pick out something to make them feel good and look good. And people would lay down money and walk off or just be in tears because they were treated respectfully with care like we should treat every single person. And most importantly, please remember this. Most importantly, the way you should expect to be treated. Everyone should expect to be treated respectfully and with care and compassion. You deserve that, my child of God. You deserve that. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you deserve anything less. Now, I was getting paid to be there, but it was something I wanted to do, to take a little extra step, a little time away from my assignment for the moment to make her day go a little easier to help her out. But it was really no big deal. It was sort of like the bare minimum anyone should expect. I've already told you, your creator loves you. You are an important person. The very fact that you are alive makes a wonderful difference in this world. Treat others with compassion and expect to be treated with compassion and kindness also. Please click the subscribe and the like button, and please share this channel, this site, with a friend. Share, check in with SJ. I appreciate that. In the comments below, tell me what you think about what happened. Should customers be so overwhelmed by being treated respectfully? Have you ever had something like that happen to you? Let me know. I hope you snuggle in for a good winter's night. I hope you take very good care of yourself. Take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. You have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping by.